Thank you all for your opening statements. Obviously, recent events with aviation, we'll look forward to talking a little bit about the NTSB, but I think before we get to current events, as Senator Lujan alluded to earlier, we're in a highly polarized time, but recently there's a bipartisan letter shared from a number of us expressing concern over proposed rail merger between Norfolk Southern and Union Pacific. I'll enter that into the record here with our committee staff. This letter, bipartisan, recognizes a growing concern from industry and from elected officials about mass consolidation within the rail industry. And the free market is the free market. As a former businessman, I support the best free market outcomes possible, but ultimately, a free market must also serve its customers effectively. And I want assurances from both you, Mr. Kloster and Ms. Schultz, and I'd be curious as your thoughts right now of what the Surface Transportation Board is going to do to examine this merger and make sure that in the end, if it does happen, we are not placing the needs of our farmers and ranchers, our manufacturers, and our rural communities who depend on an increasingly consolidated rail industry to serve them, their needs, and their businesses.
Thank you, Senator. I read the letter, and clearly this transaction will be the largest and most monumental transaction that has ever come before the board in the history of the board. And what I can say is that I also expect that the record in this matter will be voluminous, matching, the magnitude of the case. I can speak for myself in saying that in all matters that come before the board, I review the evidentiary record, the comments that are filed on the docket, and the applicable law and statutes, and I will be prepared to do so in this case as well.
Mr. Kloster, any thoughts on the merger?
Yes, Senator. I've spent my whole career in the rail industry, and I've seen a lot, and I've seen all the mergers, the successes, but also the failures. My view is that yes, this will be the largest merger ever, and my commitment to you and to this committee would be to be objective, to be fair, to be impartial, to do all the research and the analysis to come up with the right decision regarding this merger or any topic that, issue that comes before the board.
And ultimately for the board, this is more of a philosophical question, but for either of you, what do you view the highest responsibility of the board? Is it rail safety and standards of operation, or is it industry health? And as far as industry health, where does that vector point you? Is that health of the corporations, the rail corporations? Is it health of the businesses they serve? How do you view that philosophical ordering of priorities?
Senator, thank you for the question. With all due respect, because the merger is a pending matter, I have to be very, very careful about any comments I make on, my views on any of the standards that I might be reviewing. As I'm sure you're aware, this will be a case of first impression as it relates to the new merger rules. They are very much public and available on our website, but for me to provide comment on my views on how I view the standards of law or how I might apply them would be pre-decisional.
I agree with Member Schultz. The only thing that I would add would be that I don't think there's any particular, there are a lot of matters that are important, and it's going to be incumbent upon me as a member, assuming I'm confirmed, to weigh all those matters.
Mr. Dillo, obviously we had a tragedy in Louisville recently, and that comes on the heel. We have the safest airspace in the world. We have the safest aviation system in the world. I think it's important we remember that because clickbait and YouTube wants us to think that planes will fall out of the sky, but they do fall out of the sky. Accidents do happen, and I think this actually dovetails into our last conversation about mass consolidation in any industry. Oftentimes those benefits are billed as efficiencies, but it also creates a lack of competition between manufacturers and between operators. So I'm curious as your thoughts right now. We only have a few seconds left, but what are your current concerns about what American aviation looks like so we can continue to be the leaders of the world, whether it's in manufacturing, whether it's in commercial operations? How do we maintain America's aviation dominance in the 21st century?
Well, thank you, Senator, for the question. I do think we have the premier aviation system in the world. We have, by far, the absolute best controllers in the United States. We have professional pilots. I think our national airspace system is safe. When we do discover things are maybe not quite right, for instance, the government shutdown, the airlines, the FAA are very proactive at looking at the data and making decisions to making sure things stay safe. So in all matters in the aviation industry, we do a very formalized risk assessments. We look at the consequences, and we look for ways to mitigate risks that we discover based on the hazards we're aware of.
Well, the NTSB is a great organization, and the entire world has modeled their air safety off of ours. So I look forward to you continuing that legacy. Senator Lujan, I recognize you for your questions.